Finally, after 24 books, our old pal Slappy gets his due. But unlike the Monster Blood storyline, Night of the Living Dummy 2 has no returning characters from the first book, save for the beloved villain. Here we find a new girl named Amy Kramer who is a budding ventriloquist with her dummy named Dennis who's a real piece of shit. Every time she tries her act, the dummy's head falls off, so her father gets her a new dummy from a local pawn shop, the owner of which seems only too willing to let the doll go for a cheap price. When she first gets it, Amy reaches up inside the dummy's head and pulls out a moldy sandwich. What the fuck? Who's storing their lunch inside a ventriloquist doll? Then she pulls out a piece of paper from Slappy's breast pocket, reading the words, Karu Mari Odana Loma Malono Karano. Oh yeah, the shit's on now, boys. Slappy gets up to his usual tricks, and as a result of his actions, Amy suffers the wrath of her family, who begin to question her sanity. I was actually kinda disappointed with this book, to be honest. It feels kinda like a retread of the original, and nothing new is really introduced into the lore surrounding Slappy, save for the final scene. Here, Amy's old dummy Dennis tackles Slappy to the ground, splitting his head open. Out of Slappy's head crawls a fat white worm. This differs from the original in that the evil inhabiting Mr. Wood and later Slappy is represented as a green mist. And how the fuck did Dennis come alive? Let's just hope things pick up in the next one. The Barking Ghost. Since I started this marathon, I've had book 32 swimming around my head, excited to finally reread it. It was my very first Goosebumps book, setting off years of reading bliss. Everything about this book took on near mythical status. Its red cover, that creepy snarling dog and its dead eyes looking directly into your soul. In rereading this book, I realize I've been looking at it with rose-tinted glasses because it's fucking horrible. What was I thinking? It's not the worst book I've read in the series, but it's close. The whole thing feels like a mishmash of ideas from previous books, chief among them being Why I'm Afraid of Bees with its focus on body switching. The Barking Ghost ends up being a pair of spectral dogs who chase around Cooper and his friend Margaret Ferguson, who goes by Fergie. Yeah, like the pop star. The ghost dogs are really just a couple of kids who inexplicably had a curse placed upon them, forcing them to roam the woods for some reason in their phantasmal forms. They switch bodies with Cooper and Fergie for like 2 seconds before they fuck it up and get switched back. It seems like everything's okay when Cooper notices something's wrong. He and Fergie are chipmunks. Yes, when the switch happened, a couple of idiot chipmunks wandered by and got caught up in the process. They should have been bees. You know what? I'll just go ahead and call this Why I'm Afraid of Bees too.